We continue our reading in the Bushman's Guide. Today's reading is Does God Answer Prayer? Most Australians know something of the Burke and Wills expedition, perhaps the most tragic story in the history of exploration in this continent. It is a story of failure through bad management and lack of bushcraft, though there was no lack of courage and endurance. The expedition was financed by the public of Victoria, who contributed £13,000, and by government grant of £6,000. Both preparations and equipment were most elaborate, and a great send-off seemed to herald a most successful venture, but the result was bitter disappointment and loss of life. The object was to reach the Gulf of Carpentaria, and this was practically achieved. Burke and Wills, Gray and King formed an advance party which met with the fate so well known to all readers of Australian history. Not so well known, however, is the authentic story recorded by Dr. F. W. Borum concerning King, whose sister, an earnest Christian, organized a prayer meeting to intercede for his safety. Is it not deeply significant that long after the three others mentioned had perished, King was found among friendly Aborigines by the rescue expedition? The only survivor was the only one who had a prayer meeting behind him. Who knows how much the world owes to the prayers of the people of God and to the God who hears prayer? Another disastrous expedition of more recent years is described in the book by Idris, Lassiter's Last Ride. It records an ill-fated attempt to find a gold reef in the desert. In Lassiter's diary, recovered later, is his last prayer before he died in the appalling conditions and loneliness that beset him, far from home and loved ones. He prayed, and I quote, "God be merciful to me, a sinner, and to those I leave behind." End of quote. How great it is to know with complete certainty that that prayer could not have been uttered in vain. God has given his word that whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. To be saved forever is something unspeakably great, but how much better would it have been to know that Lassiter had prayed this prayer at the first instead of the last. Had he done so, the whole course of his life might have been different. He may never have met the fate that overtook him, had his life been directed by the God who answers prayers. To God be the glory.